let's get moving because we got lost 16 minutes. So I don't want to hold you guys too long either. I'm not going to hold you after too long tonight. Yes. North Florida has gone insane. We had a storm, and the funny thing is with the tornadoes that came through, a lot of these branches are just loose. So I heard it happen too, but it's down the street from me. Something fell, hit the transformer. It tried to come back on, it went out. It tried to come back on, it went out. And then the branch, was still sitting on the wire, I guess, or the transformer. So, and then it went out completely. I'm like, okay. Then I just go, all right, I'll get the laptop and the display and just gonna get you guys on here. That's it. Not even gonna mess with it. Yep, I'm getting your storms. Texas and Louisiana, they're all coming this way. It's a circle. My son said it's a circular motion. From the bottom of the Gulf going around towards Texas, Louisiana, coming our way, then going back through, down through Florida, coming back around to the bottom of the Gulf and around in a circle. Whoosh, whoosh. I am not even looking forward to the hurricane that's going to come from all that spinning. In Oregon, wow. That's what I heard. It's funny, in London, they're complaining in England because they're like, it's 75 degrees. It's hot for us guys. I'm like, dude, do you know how nice 75 is for us here in North Florida? In South Florida, 75 is like vacation time. 75 is awesome. But they don't have, air conditioning and stuff like that. So I totally get it. Yes, that's what it's been hitting here. It hit 109 the other day for us. And they're talking 113. We're like, what? And with humidity, that's the problem. It's not a dry heat, it's a wet heat, right? Lovely in Philly. Yeah. Humidity gets you every time. All right. We're going over information systems. So that's understanding data-driven business decisions, right? And we're talking information systems. And in the day-to-day business, basic day, we are constantly on some kind of information systems. That's what my master's was in. So it's really to understanding the whole system and how everything works. You have to know basically what's best for what situation, right? But your stuff is like, you're going to get into some basic commerce and data. So you're going to go through Microsoft Excel, tables, charts, and Microsoft Access. Now, you don't have to have it in your system, which is a good thing. It's all on TestOut. So you'll get to play with it on there, which will be fun. And getting to know data and a database and a table and how to put all that stuff together. So that should be kind of fun. Yeah, humidity's no joke, exactly. It's like it can be 90 degrees outside and it'll say feels like 110. Like, great, thank you. Like, I need to know, right? Because I already feel it. Everybody hear me okay? Is it loud enough for everybody? It might just be Troy, you might just need to come back in, or could be the level on, yep, could be connection. I've got a strong connection, so, and I'm right on my mic. I'm right here on the mic. I've learned that with you guys. So hopefully it's not too bad. I will talk slow. No, I won't. Okay, so everything is here in the announcement, what you're going to be doing this week. So you definitely have some labs. You'll have the reading chapter 9, information systems. You have the labs, which is chapter 9 even though you're unit 6, you're going to be doing chapter 9. Okay, connection also. Okay. And then, of course, you have some other optional resources. Now, Tutorials Point is one of my favorite. And what's great about Tutorials Point is literally it's like a tutorial, takes you through the whole thing. And what Tutorials Point used to do was you could go through the whole tutorial and get a completion certificate, not like a certification, but like a completion certificate that you completed that tutorial, So this one's got database management, it's got Microsoft Access, there's management information systems, customer relationship management, supply chain management, e-commerce, and then LibreOffice software download. That one's a good one too because if you're using something like Linux or any of the Ubuntu style operating systems, LibreOffice is a small version of um, Microsoft, pretty much. It has everything that you can want. If you look in here, and I've got LibreOffice in here, it has Office Base, which is Excel um, Access. It has Calc, Draw, Impress, Math, Writer. So it has, basically pretty much the same stuff that Microsoft does, but it's smaller versions. So it's not going to um, take a lot of your resources like all Microsoft products do, like all Windows products do. It really is a lot smaller, really good for Linux and Ubuntu type operating systems. And if you have a virtual machine, if you can put a virtual machine on your Mac, do that too. Put LibreOffice in there, see if you like it. You can save your items as Excels and docs and PowerPoints, things like that. So that's something good to have on hand when you need that in case you need those kind of documentation and you can't get Microsoft in your system. All right, so we're going to go over here, of course, to this um, table of contents and the overview. Basically, like I said, you're going to go through uh, e-commerce and how the data is used in various businesses involved in simple online transactions. With so much data analyzed, there are many tools at Microsoft Office productivity software, Excel, and Access to support business, school, and personal needs. So after this week, you should be able to describe the various components of an information system, describe the importance of information systems in transaction processing, supply chain management, and customer relationship management, explain how businesses use data analytics to make more informed decisions, use Microsoft Excel and Access to perform simple data analysis, describe the importance of project management in designing and implementing information systems, and describe how businesses protect their intellectual property. That's always important. We want to protect the intellectual property, and that, of course, is through, references and making sure that you're using the copyrights, right? You're going to read Chapter 9, Information Systems. That's right, reading. And learning, you have the labs 9.35, 7, and 9. So Excel tables, Excel charts, and Excel and the Access report to analyze data. And your lab. Your labs will be the quizzes for 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, and 9.5. So I'm going to test out. And we'll talk about what there is to look at this week. Okay. So introduction to 9 and what you're going to be covering, components of information system. Let me see. Go on to make this a little bit easier to see all this. Introduction to business systems. So when we talk about business systems, there's a lot of different aspects to business systems that were used throughout the cycle of like an organization, a business, that kind of thing. Information systems itself, combination of technology, people, and procedures used to organize, analyze, and store data. So an information system is your basic transaction processing or management or any expert systems that you're going to use within the company itself. Okay. So um, part of my master's degree, that's what the master's degree is a information systems manager's information system. And it's understanding what systems are to be used in what areas, what categories, and how they're going to be used throughout the system and the company itself. So you need to know when, depending on what the project is, what the scope is of that's going to be, that they're working on, how that's going to work, and what um um programs are going to be needed, what systems are you going to put in place. Sometimes artificial intelligence, that's another system that's really getting into play now. I mean, they want us to teach you in our AI so bad, but a lot of people are not understanding the whole background of AI yet. Data is a big part of AI, and when that comes into play, if that data is not full, if it's not complete, you're not going to get the answer that you're looking for. So a lot of times you'll see if you're messing around with AI, it will give you an answer, but you have to ask it. It's how you prompt it, right? How you prompt that AI for your answer is how it's going to come out. It doesn't have a brain of its own. It only uses data. It's not a magic button. It's not a magic, you know, tin can full of answers. It's not there for you. It's just going to gather the data that it has. And that's why stuff like ChatGPT is not so great yet, but getting better with each cycle that it's updated because more and more data is being gathered and then being added to the database that ChatGPT can use. Same thing with Copilot and any of the other ones that are being built out. Supply chain, flow of goods and services produced to the customer. Customer relationship management used a lot in IT support specifically. That's a big thing there too. And a lot of companies are using that throughout just to be able to, have all the information of their customer right there. Cryptocurrency is another one, and blockchain and how those are used. Those are all systems in place. Okay, introduction and types of information systems, facts. It's technology, people, and procedures. Okay, so that's really just the rundown basically of information systems. You can actually go to Sailor Academy and no, that's not the one I want. Academy and I keep it whatever. Don't worry about that. It's online Sailor Academy courses. There are courses on Sailor Academy, which are really cool because a lot of these are free. And what you can do is see all the courses they have here. They have one for information systems technology. And you can get it's kind of like a certification, but this is another completion certificate. Did I pass it? I probably did. Because it's in, I think so. I think all of these are free. And I have my interns doing these. They do information systems and they do, here it is. They do computer science. Intro, they do the computer science one here. You have Python. Um, managing information systems. There was leadership too was another one. Management leadership is what I give them. And then management information systems is another one too. So you get into that and leadership, I give them too, because when they come in and they get to a point in the internship where you can lead the team. I give them the leadership one, and you get, a certificate once you go through. You can do all these, and then you get the certificate final exam. And I think it's proctored and everything, but I think it's like $10, $15, something like that for a little one. So it's something to look into with Sailor Academy. These are nice little quick ones if you decide to do, you can do something over the summer or something like that, you know. But I was just thinking about that because this one has the information systems, which can give you a little bit background on that too. Um, so when we think about the types, we got transaction processing, we've got management and expert systems, which are like beyond decision support systems, providing more direct recommendations for business leaders. This would be AI. It would be something like crypto and um, more like a diagnostic, like doctors diagnose diseases and oil drilling. It's more of like those expert systems that are specific to what that is about. So AI, facts about AI, uh, technology singularity. So a hypothetical point in the future when AI will surpass human intelligence. It's hypothetical and it won't. It might be by person, surpass human intelligence by person because it is um how do I want to say it's run by data alone. It's not like it's going to come to life unless it learns it. But I don't think we'll ever make it learn it. If we do, we've seen the movies, right? We've seen yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Hallucinations, yeah, exactly. And whether the technology singularity could ever be achieved. So, I mean, maybe possibly, I don't think so. I think it's going to always make mistakes because inevitably, unless you can make it from like we do, from children on up, the robot's going to have to live the whole life to become human. You know what I mean? It's just going to have to live the life of a human to become human, and then it's still robot. So, but what do we do then? That's the basis of the movies. Natural language processing, gaming, expert systems, neural networks, and big data analytics, because that's basically what it is. It's all data. Heavy on it. Supply chain management, traditional supply chain flow. I mean, just think of the biggest one, Amazon, right? Manufacturer, shipper, warehouse, transportation, store, and customer. So that is the flow, the supply chain and how it runs. It might differ in different ways. It could be that manufacturer is in the warehouse and then it's transported. It doesn't have to be. The store could be the manufacturer and the warehouse and it goes straight to the customer. There's a lot of different ways that this can be changed up, but it's always influenced by information systems because of the supply chain and the way that it rolls as it goes around. You need to have the enterprise applications, the order management, inventory databases, the logistics of the whole thing, equipment monitoring, automation, and predictive analytics, because that always has to get better and better as it moves. So as you go through, you're going to use these processes. You're going through supply chain management. And I believe this one is a degree that we have here too. If you're still thinking about something as a degree, we do have supply chain management. Depending on what, if Walmart sent you here for college, this might be something you want to get into and you can be one of the big guys up in Walmart. But Amazon does the same thing. Customer relationship, integrating systems. This, of course, customer relationship. That's basically what it is. It's adopting a lot of the actions that are being done, right? Your customer is going to call you. They want certain things. They've bought something from you. There's a service that they've gotten from you. It's customer to customer. It's business to customer. It's a customer to business kind of thing. So you're constantly looking at the care and the management of that relationship that you have with that customer, because the customer is what pays the bills, pays your salary, pays your employees, and makes that company run, right? The customer is not always right. We've gone past that. That's an old adage to business. The customer is not always right, but the customer is the most important because there is no business without a client or a customer. So you have customer care. You have to and analyze your system. You have to document it. You're going to market, right? They don't know you're there unless you market it. Customer loyalty is always a big thing. You want to keep the customer, keep them happy, keep them coming back. You have a database with all the information, what they bought, where they live, where they're going, what all kinds of stuff, right? That data's there. Communication, keep communicating with them. And customer care is always a big thing. Building relationships with customers, finding potential customers, following up current customers. Always go back to your customers. I have web clients and I always go back to them and say, hey, is there anything I can do for you? We're doing this. Do you want to do this? Do you want to change up a little bit? Do you want me to add this? Do you have anything you want to sell this month or, any kind of special products you've got going on? Resolving problems with current customers. Always try to resolve the problem. Not everybody's always going to be happy. Analyzing data trends for current customers too. Keep it moving, keep it flowing. Always be up to date. Huh. There's always a new trend, always something going on. And you can go on Google Trends for many different topics and find out what the trends are by people, by everybody, and find out what, your customers might be looking into. Crypto's a currency, get some information on crypto and how it works. I'm to the point where I get it, but I still don't get it. And I argue with my kids about this, and digital currency is kind of scary in a sense too. And what is blockchain and how that's running? The problem is that it takes a lot of resources for crypto. Lot of servers, a lot of computers to make them. Which still, all of that just still doesn't make sense, but somebody came up with it and monetized it. So it is what it is. I had uh, when we were in the internship back in 2017, I think he bought $10,000 worth of crypto, and we're like, "You're crazy, dude! You're crazy." Okay, that $10,000 worth of crypto is now what, $300,000 a coin. He literally by 300% that money went up. Now, from what I hear my kids say, you can use your cryptocurrency to buy houses, to buy cars, to buy things. And that makes him rich. Or, you know, kind of weird to me. Like just because he bought crypto. And it was Bitcoin. He bought Bitcoin. Yes. And there's Jamaica is now using it's called banana. India, actually parts of India, if not all of India, is using digital money now, digital currency. And the problem with digital currency, of course, is once they create it, Venezuela, exactly, it really sets aside the rich and the poor. Because if you don't have money in the bank, you have no money. If you don't have money to make it digital currency, you suddenly have no money. And in India, what happened was, I read an article about this lady who, I don't know if she was part of the government or something like that, and she said, it was like 9 o'clock at night. They had gone through the whole thing and they said 9 o'clock at night, that's it. We're running through it. It's all changing over. And that's it. We've got digital currency. And it literally sunk India. Everybody was poor. That's it. The whole country was poor. And they were just specific people who had money in the bank already changed over to digital currency and they had money when they started. Yeah. And the one person who still doesn't, he doesn't have his, they have the hard drives, they have the wallets. And if you forget the password to the wallet, that money is gone. $300, yeah. It never followed through. Yeah, I know. And it is thousands now, thousands of dollars. Yep. And if thin air like that, it's gone. And I don't even know. He's got millions of dollars in that wallet and he can't find the password. Like, dude, that's one of those passwords I would have put underneath my keyboard. Okay, that's like I wouldn't have messed around with that one. I would have had it tattooed the back of my head or something. I don't know. You just don't mess with, millions of dollars of Bitcoin. Yes, exactly. In your notes, exactly. Yeah, it was everywhere, and you could earn them on sites that were worth. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is. It's really weird to me. It is still. It's like my brain because I'm so old school. Cash. I don't have any cash. Literally, I don't have any cash on hand. I have yes turned over to use cards for everything, but it's all debit. Debit and credit was needed. And I have some coin. Every now and then you need some coin, right? I mean, I'm coming back and I realized my new vehicle didn't have one of those things that I need for the turnpike. I'm going down from Tallahassee to Orlando and I need the thing for the turnpike. Yeah, I could use coin, but I'm like, what? I don't have coin. So either I get coin or I get one of those things for my car so I can go ahead, okay, but pay by tag, but I have a rental. I'm going to get a bill from a rental company in a month, and they're going to say, here, you owe us, 40, $50 because of the turnpike, you know? Yeah, right. Not investing. I wish I had done that. I could have scrounged up $500 and just sat on that. That would have been fine, you know? But I had to buy that thing for the turnpike, and it was like, what do you do when you don't have that cash? What do you have to change everything? And I'm still old school to the point where, excuse me, I will use the credit cards or the debit cards, and I have everything in the bank. So that's like it's not tangible. It's not something you can feel anymore. It's really scary. You buy a car, you pay for things, you buy a home, you buy furniture, and everything is on a card. You don't even feel that you're spending that hard-earned money that you just made. And man, if we turn to digital currency, that's even worse. I mean, basically it is digital currency. I get paid, it goes into the bank, I don't actually touch it. It tells me you have a deposit. Basically, we're living off of digital currency when we do that. And then everything I pay out's automatically from, my bank to the company. It's not like I go to the store and pay the bill. Exactly. And you tap or, using Apple Pay or Android Pay, like I've been doing. They keep wanting me to use Google Pay. Very easy. Yep. Yep. So something to think about. It all changed, right? Oh, here comes my cough. Huh. We've already talked through two classes. All right, data analysis and data analytics and Microsoft Excel. Ooh. So data, that's one of the biggest assets to any company. Literally any kind of data, even if it's on an Excel sheet, it's a database. It has columns, it has rows, and it's information, and you put it in there, whether it's a database of your passwords. You know, I have one still for my old passwords. You can even download all your Google passwords. Put that in an Excel sheet if you want to. I have that, my old one, because I cleared out my Google passwords because it was getting hacked. So I was like, okay, I'm getting my Google passwords are coming and I'm trying it little by little. I put them all in my LastPass. That is the biggest database, right? Hopefully locked down. Don't forget your password for that one. And then you can go ahead and have a database full of information. It could be anything. Could be, just addresses, phone numbers, family, whatever that might be. But data is the biggest asset to any company, especially in customer relationship management. You want to have their addresses, their phone numbers, their birthdays, send them a card on their birthday, remind them that you're still a company and you care about them. You want all that information. Maybe their credit card, so they have it online already and they don't have to put it in every time. Of course, that's the scary point. They get hacked, the information's gone or shared. However, data-driven based business decisions. My info was compromised about 2 weeks ago, part of some data breach. I don't know which company or entity, but people were trying to log in from different countries, VPN maybe. Yep, yep. So easy. And the companies don't know sometimes, that's why cybersecurity is a big, needed, it's huge job market right now. It's huge. And you wouldn't believe how many businesses and governments, local governments, your mayor, you're trying to think who's below the mayor, any kind of system needs cybersecurity. They need security. They need that stuff locked down. It starts with them and moves on to bigger and bigger and bigger, you know? Data-driven business decisions, absolutely. Data value, that's really, using backups, understanding backups. It's important to remember everything you're reading chapter 9, because in chapter 10, you have a document that you're going to create. You're going to create a company policy, computer policy. And part of that is, of course, the information that is gathered, right? And a lot of that's going to come from chapter 9 to be able to secure that, to give you answers and different things that you're going to add to it. You'll have a template to work off of. It's not something you have to come up with. It's not an essay. It is a template. So you'll just be putting in all the information. It's pretty easy. And we'll go over it, but that's, 4 weeks from now, so you're okay. But just think about it. When you're going over this stuff, remember where you had read that stuff before. You'll go back to those chapters and find that information. Oops, wrong one. All right. Data-driven business decisions, basically, of course. Um, Another one today, huh? Man. Okay, use Microsoft Excel tables to analyze data. Lab charts to analyze data, and the lab. And then access reports to analyze data, and the lab. Yeah, two-step. I mean, really, multi-factors are really helpful because it'll even tell you, hey, somebody's trying to get your multi-factor. I am trying for the life of me to figure out, trying to get into a Google email that I made. It's a simple Google email, and I can't even get into it. And it used to be that you could pay them 2 cents or something like that. And because of the credit card you're using or whatever, when you're paying, you could get your password back. And I can't even do that. And they're like, well, put in one that it might be. I use that. Okay. That didn't get it to me. Well, what about what's an email that you might have used to, let us tell you that you're being hacked or something like that. And I can't figure out that email. I'm like, this really wasn't that big of a Gmail that I had. I just want it back. I want to get in there and I can't, so I had to make a new one. Remember when authenticator services didn't have backups like they do now? That was a headache if you lose your phone. Yeah. Oh my gosh, seriously. It really was. You're so right about that. And then you've got a quiz. Designing and implementing systems, system analysis and design, SDLC, system development life cycle, waterfall method, uh, iterative design, phasing, planning phase, the analysis phase, design phase. This is big when it comes to development. And this would be even if it's like, game development, if you use this kind of design work and the phases. Waterfall is definitely one that just kind of goes like a waterfall. It's just straight down. The other ones are more of agile, where you're going to build off like, so many people can do this. And while they're working on this, other people can do this. While they're working on this, other people can do this. Now, other people, you can't move further until these first three people get this done. And then the second, three people can keep working while those first three get that done. Once that's done, the third three people can get started once the first three people are done. It's like it's agile, it works. And that kind of works better when you're developing something. we did that. We have game development in the internship too. And we had them do certain phases. Someone's working on the website, someone's working on the game, someone's working on the layout, the land itself for the game. Someone's working on the people for the game. Someone's working on the music for the game, different areas. And then they're gonna come all together and put that together. So that's what's really cool about understanding SDLC and the agile part of it. It's the iteration of how you're working the whole system and the whole project. That is project management. Huge, another huge job to get into project management. And mind you, everyone is a project manager. Think about the birthday party that you had for your child, the big birthday party. You set everything up. You got the cake on time. You got everything you needed to decorate it. You invited all the people. You set up the date. You sent out the invitations. You got the outfits together. You got the entertainment together. You got the food together. That's all project management. That little birthday party is a huge project and you managed it. So when it comes to project management, see it as the bigger picture of it with the small pieces that are inside it. So that's another job that's really big right now too. Huge project management, getting into that. Um, Integration, agile needs assessment and then risk management, which is always a big thing. Risk management, like if you're trying to make sure that nobody's going to steal that big diamond, what's the risk mitigation that you're going to put on that? What's the management you're going to do? You can make sure you got guards, you make sure you got lasers, make sure you got cameras, make sure you got a bulletproof glass around the diamond, a safe. Exactly. You're going to make sure all that stuff is set up, right? That's risk management and mitigation. It's control, security control. SDLC again, waterfall model, iterative design, planning phase, analysis phase, maintenance phase, project management, facts, systems integration, agile, communicating with stakeholders, risk management, controlling costs, um, meeting project deadlines, and project evaluation and assessment. Just think of it just like a birthday party or something real simple that you're putting together. I really enjoyed my project management class when I had that one. That was fun. Agile, it's going to explain to you exactly what it really is. You plan, you design, you develop, you test, you release, your feedback, and you change and you keep going. Your Scrum diagram, you're going to sprint to it. Sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint. This is a whole different kind of way to do it, but you're figuring out little parts of it as you go through it too. Being a Scrum master, agile development benefits. And a quiz, intellectual property. So I'm gonna keep going. If you got to run off to another class, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm gonna keep going so you can always come back to this if you need to. Quite a few job postings for project manager in my area lately. Oh, that's sweet. That's good. I know you'd have to get your PMP certification, and I've been thinking about that. Uh, Now, intellectual property, copyright, of course, right? Intellectual property, piracy, fair use, public domain. This is something for your Unit 10, so keep this in mind. Proprietary software, open source software, patent, trademark, privacy expectations, Creative Commons, and Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Now, the biggest part of this, of course, is copyright. Always keep the copyright. And they're going to start registering copyrights where they didn't before. It used to be where you could just, you'd have it, yeah, I did this and it's copyright. You could just write on there like a website, you just write the date that it was made. Well, I used to send any product that we created, I used to mail it to myself and keep it in that folder or that envelope. And I knew that if I ever had to go before a judge, I'd say, here, judge, this is proof. This was the date that it was made because it had the post stamp on the envelope that was not opened since it had been sent, and it had all the documentation in there. So I could always prove that we were the ones who created that program, that design, whatever that might be. You always want to cover yourself with copyrights, but I believe they're starting to register copyrights like they do trademarks and patents and stuff like that now too. Intellectual property, patents and trademarks, property facts. Now, anything you make, create is intellectual property. Anything that is owned by a copyright holder is called intellectual property. Some common examples are books, paintings, songs, poems, movies, and inventions. But typing that date on there when it was created, unless it's by a publisher, does not significantly say that it's copyrighted anymore. And piracy is huge, so copyright is needed, and proof of copyright is needed. I mean, there's piracy is just so big. And then fair use, you can have it where it's, that's it's held long enough that, now it's fair use. You can create things like when you go to Pexels or you go to Splash or something like that to get a picture, those people are saying, "Hey, just give me credit for it and you can use it for free." Public domain, proprietary software, open source, patent, trademarks, digital goods, anything that we make through it. Now, it's a little easier with copyright a digital good because most of the time it's got the meta to it attached of when it was created because the computer automatically adds the meta information to it. So it doesn't happen automatically. So that's a little bit harder to copy. License examples, um, important for when it comes to software, especially. And the citations, right? You always use your citations. Yes, I use Pixabay a lot. I use Pexels. I haven't started spending to use the stock. What's it called? Something stock. Digital Millennium Copyright, and that's where they're going to start um, registering the copyrights and how that works. And the quiz, information system careers. Okay, that's for later on. You don't have to do that one. So I believe this is for 10. But check your grade book because I know that there's one chapter that actually is asking you to do the careers one. But either way, whether you do it now or you do it later, that's fine. But you're going to be very busy in Unit 10. So, if you want to take care of the careers ones now, and then you won't have to do the careers ones plus that paper in Unit 10 because there's going to be a lot to do. My ISP used to send me letters all the time for using uTorrent and Pirate Bay. Yeah. I know. I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that back in the day. All right, well, that is it for this week. I made it by 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock. You guys have a great rest of your evening and weekend and rest of your week. And I'm available. You have my you can text me or email me. I'll answer any questions. I'm working on the grades now. I got most of it done. I think I'm just doing your discussions right now. So, and if you got to do anything in addition to what you've already done, I should get it all done by Friday, hoping. So have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.